Volume 1599 and 3/4. July 4th. Another great day to be alive. Okay, technically it's a great day to be undead, but it's still a great day and I am going to enjoy it. July 15th. It rained today, which means I don't have to wear so much sunscreen when I went out for a walk. It's also nice for my garden. Fresh tomatoes, carrots, and lettuce. Count Fabulous loves it too. Not the vegetables, but all the bugs that they attract. It's like a bug buffet for a bat. July 21st. Father surprised me by buying my school clothes this year. I love my father, but you'd think that after 1,599 years, he'd realize that there's more to fashion than whalebone corsets and black velvet-lined hooded capes. At least he left the tags on everything this year, so I can return it all for something splashed with a little color. I really hope he didn't bite the clerks this time. It's so gross and embarrassing. July 26th. We got no human neighbors today, which I thought was a little bit strange because my father is kind of intimidating the humans. And monsters too, actually. But it doesn't seem to bother Mrs. Jackal and her son Jackson Jackal, who is my age. Well, I mean, technically he's really not, but we're going to be in the same class. When he gets moved in, I'm going to give him the entire lowdown on Monster High. August 7th. I took a casketberry pie over to the Jackals today as a haunted housewarming gift, and Jackson answered the door. Wow, he is scary, cute, and really sweet. I got bats in my stomach and ghost bumps just standing there talking to him. I don't know what it is, but there's something a little mysterious about him. I like it. August 15th. Claudine Wolf came over yesterday. We were supposed to be going through my closets to collect some of my out-of-date fashions and give them away to Ghoulwill. It also gave me a chance to give some of them away to Claudine. She has a big family and I have almost 1,600 years of clothing. It would be selfish of me not to share with my best friend. Claudine has a lot of pride though, and so I had to combine the two. After we pulled out a bunch, we cranked the music and started trying outfits. We had such a good time that it woke Father up. What a grump! Anyway, I can't believe chainmail was ever in style. It's so 15th century. Of course, Claudine looked fabulous in it. August 15th. Jackson came over tonight to return my pie plate. Father got to the door before I could and totally went all Transylvania on him. Good evening. What can I do for you? I was like, oh no, but then Jackson asked to borrow a hammer because he needed to drive a stake into something. It flustered my dad so much that I think he turned a shade whiter. Then Jackson said, gotcha, and my dad regained his composure. Barely. Draculaura, you have a visitor. Later on I heard Father muttering something about Jackson being more than he appears to be. I don't know about that, but he is sweet, funny, cute, and not afraid of my father. Perfect. August 23rd. I went to the mall with Claudine Wolf today to exchange some of the new school clothes Father got me. We met Mrs. Stein and her new daughter Frankie while we were there. Frankie is going to be in our class at Monster High, and her mother was taking her back to school shopping. Mrs. Stein is really, really sweet, but her fashion sense is, well, not really current. Anyway, we were able to rescue Frankie for a couple of hours and show her the best of what this century's fashions had to offer. We had a great time, and Frankie Stein is definitely built for fashion. I think Claudine might have even been a little jealous. I also suggested that Frankie should try out for the cheerleading squad. She was really excited about that, and I think that we're going to be great friends. August 24th. Cleo the Nile was unhappy with me because I had to miss cheerleading practice this morning. But Count Fabulous got another mothball and I had to take him to the vet. I scolded him for being such a pig, but he looked so miserable I couldn't be mad at him for long. If he's not going to be a vegetarian, he should at least stick to eating something smaller, like gnats or mosquitoes. August 25th. So, my sweet 1600th birthday is coming up soon, which I'm really looking forward to. But it also means something I'm not looking forward to, and that is having the talk with my father. We do this every year around my birthday, and it usually bums me out for at least a couple of days. The talk goes like this. Draculaura, I have been extremely tolerant of your keeping daytime hours, your friendship with that pack of mangy werewolves, and your insistence on being happy. But I believe it is imperative that you return to your roots and give up this ridiculous idea that a vampire can be a vegetarian. It is unnatural, unmonster-like, and I think it is time you return to what you once were. And then he stands there with his arms crossed, looking very serious. I used to get mad and tell him that it was my life and I could choose to live however I wanted, which caused an even bigger fight. But then I started just giving him a kiss on the cheek and a big hug, which totally disarms him, and he doesn't bring it up for another year. My father is the scariest cool monster ever, and I know it is hard on him, but being my own monster makes me happy, and I am never going back to the way I used to be. August 29th. Jackson Jackal asked if I wanted to go for a walk with him today, which was totally creeperific until he asked me to bite him. I thought he was just kidding, but he was totally serious. When I asked him why, he said that it was because he didn't want to be the only human at Monster High, and that if he were a vampire, he would fit in, and we could hang out. He was so sweet about it, but I told him why I became a vegetarian, and how that meant I couldn't possibly bite him. I could tell he was disappointed, but I told him that just because he was human didn't mean he wouldn't fit in or that we couldn't hang out. That seemed to make him feel a little better, but I don't think he's giving up on the idea of me biting him. September 1st. I just finished working on a newsletter for VAMP, which stands for Vampires Advocating Meatless Protein. I put in some recipes, a short story, and some poetry. I think it's a great organization, although I am the only member so far. I even gave a copy to my father, who circled some spelling errors and gave it back to me. Well, at least he read it close enough to find mistakes. September 5th. Claudine Wolf's family always has an end of the summer barbecue. And they always invite me, even though in the past our families haven't always gotten along. But since Claudine and I are like best monster friends forever, I always get invited. Of course, they are all like total carnivores, so I usually bring my own food. At least they don't tease me too much about the tofu dogs and veggie burgers I bring. This year I invited Jackson Jackal to go with me, and I think he had a good time. Although Claudine has a really big family, and they can be pretty rowdy when they're all together. September 6th. As much fun as I had at the cookout yesterday, it was still a sign that summer is ending and school is about to start. I mean, I don't dislike school, and I love seeing all my friends every day, but there's nothing like summertime and the freedom of just being able to do whatever I want, whenever I want.